So, Will,
Yes, sir.
this is a typical record-setting teardown we got going on here.
Absolutely.
All right.
I want to race with
Start of a new IDBL season and start of a new defense of your third championship. And you started off with the record and a win.
Yes, sir.
Not bad.
Yeah, not bad, man. You know, we know what the bike is capable of. You know, we went 70s in Valdosta, and I had a tough finals loss in Valdosta to Ehren, the guy I just ran in the finals. I lost on a hole shot in the finals, and you know, it's always tough when that happens. So, really, I can't tell you how nervous I was for this final. You know, of course, you always have to get butterflies. Butterflies are good. You know, you feed off those butterflies. That's what my wrestling coach always used to tell me. He says, use them, you know, and don't mess up, and just go A to B, you know, and that's what I did that final round. So.
It's hard to imagine you being nervous at this stage of your career, actually.
Well, I get more and more nervous because, as you know, my team gives me this amazing machine, and Andy tunes it beautifully, and my dad builds these awesome motors, and the bike flies, and it goes straight as an arrow. And they're really, all you have to do is let go of the clutch, keep it straight, and hit your shift points, and it's going to go fast. And so, you know, the team is what makes this, and my biggest fear is letting them down, and you know, not living up to what I'm supposed to live up to, and at the same time, you got to try and fit fun into there too, you know, and of course it's always fun, and winning's even more fun. But you know, I do get more and more nervous as time goes on, and now people are, you know, especially with like Rodney, he won a 76, and these guys are nipping at our heels and stuff, and times are changing, you know, Pro Street's changing, and we have to step up, and just like everybody else is stepping up, and it's pushing the class to a whole new level, you know.
I hear you. Did going for a record add an extra, you know, make you extra nervous?
Well, the 74, that we weren't going for that per se at the time. We didn't know, you know, a lot of times you come to these races, you don't know what the competition's going to bring. And if the competition's going high 80s, low 90s, you don't want to push a low 72 up. You know, they're already on the ragged edge as it is. There's no need to do that. You know. So the 74 was a nice treat. It went super straight, and we were able to put power into it very early, and fortunately we won a 74 with a 9 and got the record back. And of course, you know, we were the first in the 670s, and I want to be the deepest in the 670s. So, you know, and that's, you know, it's good for my tuner Andy and my dad Skip to have that record. You know.
You've been first in the 670s twice now.
yeah, I guess well, it was.
We're not expecting any rules changes this year, though, right?
I don't think so. I mean, you got Ehren that's knocking on the 70s doors. You know, we got Jason Dunigan won a 684.
Yeah.
The day after the last race.
Yeah.
Rodney won a 76.
Yeah.
And you know, and me and Rodney, we're not lightweights anymore. I used to be light a while ago, but now it doesn't pay to be light anymore.
Right.
You know, it doesn't pay to be 125 pounds in Pro Street.
Right.
Yeah. So. You know, now Rodney and I are in the same weight class. We have the same setup, and we're both going fast. Rodney's a very smart man, and he knows how to put the power to the track. And so does Andy, so does DME, and so does my dad. So it's going to make for an interesting season, man.
Back to being nervous. There was that 2000s red light on.
No, I don't know.
Well, but you know, it's 2000s. It's forgivable, although it was round one.
Round one. you know, maybe, you know, things happen for a reason. Maybe I needed to concentrate on Pro Street today. Also, there's been a lot of complaints about that bike because it's got a Gen 2 and it goes 770s and stuff, and so it's probably a good thing all around that I was able to concentrate on it. Let the newcomer that beat me. This was his first race.
Yeah.
He went all the way to the finals.
Yeah.
And I was like talking to him station lanes. I was like, dude, you know how long it took me to get to a final round in a Pro Street race? I was like, you should be really, you know, happy and you know, and proud of yourself that you did that. And it's cool. It shows that this stuff ain't rigged. You know, this stuff, anything can happen.
Right.
So I try to find a light at the end of the tunnel with it. And if I probably would have lost Pro Street, I probably would have thought a little different about it. But I'm telling you, I wasn't trying to go red. Maybe I should have tried even harder not to go red. But when I saw the red light, I was like, man, like I didn't know what to think. But so I had to, whenever that happens, I always seem to try and concentrate harder on what I really need to do, and that's Pro Street.
So who do we want to thank for this?
Well, of course, you know, you got to thank the man in charge, DME Ettinger, and you know, and his company DME for, you know, providing me this awesome spaceship to drive. You know, I got to thank my tuner Andy Sawyer, you know, for always putting these killer tune-ups in this bike and giving me a reliable championship-winning bike. My dad for building these motors so strong and you know, allowing me to make it all the way to the final round and still put down a 70 and win the race, and that all that stuff comes into winning races and championships. And you know, then we got to thank, you know, of course we got to thank the IDBL for giving us a platform to race on. We got to thank Vance&Hines, my title sponsor. You know, Orient Express. We got to thank Kinetic Gasket. Of course, dragbike.com, eatmyink.com. You know, for all the media coverage that you guys do for us. Let's see, MTC. CP Carrillo is a big sponsor of mine. You know, they got the baddest pistons and rods in the business. We just landed another sponsorship contract with VP Fuels, Jason Ricker. So you know, shout out to him, and you know, we definitely need some good fuel to run these numbers that we're running. So DCE for the wiring harness, the beautiful wiring harness that's on this bike. They're a great sponsor of mine. And anybody in the world can have the wiring harness that's on this bike and on my real street bike and all this stuff. It's got a part number. You just call and say you want it, and they can give it to you. You know, of course, we got to thank Penske Racing Shocks, baddest shocks in the business, hands down. Lucas Oil Products for the best oil. They keep our motors together. They keep these bearings in the motors. You know, they allow us to run these crazy speeds and these times. Let's see, Blau Performance Turbo. For these killer turbos that I have on all the turbo bikes that I ride, making a lot of horsepower. Webcam, you know, for these great camshafts, these solid camshafts that they provide us with. Vance and Leathers, let's see, Behringer brakes, Robinson Industries. You know, this class is getting faster and faster and faster, and I'll tell you what, you're going to see us next race. All of our bikes are going to have some nice Robinson Industries bearing supports on there. You know, they make the best autos in the business, you know, best gears in the business, everything. So, and let's see, also Catalyst Racing Composites. You know, for this killer light body weight, this light carbon fiber body weight we got on the bike. Worldwide bearings, APE for, you know, the studs and all these internal components that they get us for the motor, and the cranks, the cranks and all that stuff, and Marvick wheels. Let's see, and I also got to give another shout out to my family for supporting me through this stuff, and my dad for, you know, he spends a lot of time down in North Carolina building these motors, and to my fiance for coming out and supporting me, and my brother, and it really means a lot. And to any fan that I have, thank you so much. Thank you for your support. You know, I really appreciate it.
All right, man. Congratulations.
Thank you, Tim. Thank you.
Andy, congratulations on showing why you're the dragbike.com tuner of the year.
Thank you.
You really delivered this weekend with both the win and the record. And what do you got to say about it?
It's been a long weekend. We got here Friday with big hopes of testing and trying to run some good numbers on Friday. The rain cut us short on Friday, and then half the day Saturday, so then it kind of totally changed our plans. And then Royce had the track on kill. I mean, with everything with the IDBL and stuff going on, nobody knew what the series was going to be like, and it's like father, like son, had never missed a beat. So I mean, Royce, I definitely got to say Royce and all their staff, they did an awesome job.
It was amazing to see Royce in action this weekend.
And he did a great job. The track was beautiful, so we were able to go fast. And yeah, Rodney went out there and went fast, and so I guess we had to fire back.
Right.
And
an all 680 semifinal.
That's
right?
true too. Yeah, exactly.
Pretty amazing.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. Like Joey was saying, the class has gotten really tight this year. There's been races we've won where you got a 10th and a half in the bag, and it's just hopefully the bike cranks and you should be good to go. And we've actually lost races we should have won because the bike wouldn't crank. And so now there's a whole lot more to worry about than just make sure the bike starts in the water box. But that makes the competition tight and fun. I mean, it makes it. And it helps the class grow because there's not just one person that can win. Now there's different combinations of riders with rider sizes and weights and wheelbases and transmissions now, and it's just made the class interesting. It's like Tech Friday night. Everybody was getting their weights right and trying to get teched in. I mean, it was fun. It's like one big family, I guess.
You went deep into the 670s here at this event last year, and they made a lot of rule changes.
Yeah.
And what did it take to get back there?
Well, we made some changes to the bike over the winter, went with a Crow CO2 system, and then they made rule changes to penalize that. So that penalty hit Joey and Terence, and then it made a difference to the bikes. It slowed them down. We got back as close to a 681. But Rodney didn't run that, and he was right there with it. So I knew we were going to have to do something, and to get back in the 70s because he was going to be there. We knew it, and so we went back with ice water on our intercooler versus the CO2, and then we were able to get the weight back off the bike, and made it back fast.
All right. Any special tuning challenges this particular weekend?
This weekend wasn't a tuner's race, it was a motor changer's race in our pit. we normally don't have issues, but the track was so good, and we ripped the transmission out of two of the bikes. Jason's and Terence's, we tore the cases up, and then we had a sensor failed and ended up messing another motor up in Terence's, so we were thrashing all weekend. We got tools everywhere. The pit's destroyed.
Yeah.
So that was our biggest challenge, just getting the stuff to the starting line. And we made every round, and Terence, we actually put one of our motors in Terence's bike that he's never run, and he went 85 just by throwing it in there and guessing with the tune-up, in the all 80 semifinal against Ehren. So that was really happy for him. He barely got beat, a little bit on the tree, but that's where this class is now.
Yeah.
There's no gimmies.
Yeah. Yeah. Once the weather cleared and the Royce got on top of the track prep, conditions really couldn't have been much better, could they?
Yeah. There was, we went the 70. What did we go? 74?
Yeah.
Can't remember. We went to 74, and Joey said it was on the edge, so we backed it down a little bit for the semi, went to 82.
Yep.
Turned it back up for the final, and it went a 79 or 8 or something. But we were driving through the clutch a little bit, and it probably would have gone to 74 again. But got the job done, and here we are.
Okay, so back to the Tuner of the Year thing. That's a pretty cool,
that's
cool
a cool
deal.
There's a lot of heavy hitters that were on that list that we went against and people voted against, and it's really sweet. It is, that Brandy and the Energy Val Dick at Energy Pool did is a really cool. I mean, it's an honor to be able to win something like that.
Absolutely. Did you rush into Demi's office and demand more money?
No. Some things you know what you're going to get and what you ain't.
All right, well, congratulations. I look forward to seeing you in a few weeks.
All right, we'll be here.
No, he's not going to be today.
All right, then I'll get in the goofy one.
Oh, no, he's got to be in the goofy one.
There you go.
He's got to be in the goofy one. Lie down here. All right. You got to lie